After the Germans defeated France, their soldiers were sent to Paris for rest and recreation. One of the soldiers on leave is 19-year-old Lieutenant Auguste von Kageneck. His unit did not take part in the French campaign. He is visiting the city for the first time. He writes, "We are given very strict instructions. We must be impeccably dressed and avoid all contact with the population. We're inventing mass tourism." The French refuse to look at them. Some have started to fight back. These two men, who sabotaged telephone lines, will be the first to be executed by the Germans. The new French state, under the authoritarian rule of Marshal Pétain, chooses to collaborate with Germany. Pétain promulgates a set of anti-Jewish statutes that exclude Jews from public life. He and Hitler have shaken hands. Every day, the Wehrmacht parades. The Germans occupy the capital cities of Europe. After Prague and Warsaw, Brussels, Luxembourg, The Hague, Copenhagen and Oslo, but not London. February 1941, in the suburbs of London. Rose, who is only 3, has already lived through 2 years of war. Rose is brave, and bravery is called for in Britain. Great Britain's cities have been devastated by German bombs. But the country stands firm around Churchill and with the providential aid of Roosevelt. Roosevelt has just been re-elected for a 3rd term as President of the United States. Though American opinion remains opposed to war, he declares, "We must be the great arsenal of democracy." Only part of the equipment he sends to Great Britain gets through. Every British ship at sea is in great danger. The Atlantic Ocean is crawling with German submarines. Their periscopes seek out British vessels. Churchill is worried. Soon, nothing will get through, and the outcome of the war seems uncertain. Great Britain is an island. This is an advantage as well as a disadvantage. But it is the best hope for the countries under occupation. The German submarines, or U-boats, now have the French harbours at their disposal. Grouped into packs, using torpedoes and cannons, these wolves of the Atlantic succeed in sinking 4 million tons of British shipping in 1941 alone. Here, German submariners toss loaves of bread to a shipwrecked crew who have almost no chance of surviving. They will die of thirst, of hunger, of cold, or by choking on oil. Hitler is delighted with the success of his submarines, but America's massive rearmament program worries him. He tells his secretary, Bormann, "In 1 year, the United States will be ready to go to war. If we are to face them, we need more raw materials. Those materials are in the East. We need to conquer that living space. Then Britain will lose all hope and make peace. And it will be too late for the Americans. Let us attack Russia as soon as possible." Hitler codenames the invasion plan Operation Barbarossa, after the medieval emperor Frederick Barbarossa. The Wehrmacht starts to concentrate its troops in the east. Lieutenant von Kageneck leaves for Poland. Polish prisoners and Jews have been put to work on various construction projects. Hitler wants to build a motorway across Poland in order to move his army over to the new border with Russia. This is where the 9th Panzer Division is installed, along with von Kageneck's regiment. He writes, "Next to us is an SS unit. The commander asks us, 'Do you want to see a Jew?' He makes a sign and a soldier brings over a little man. 'How many people have you stolen from today?' The man doesn't reply. 'Beat him 10 times with a stick.' We were appalled. So this is our occupation of Poland? We had heard vague stories of cruelty, but it was impossible to know what was really going on. This country had become the country of silence. We didn't know that this was the beginning of the genocide to which we would lend our hands and our courage." Hitler defers his plans for an offensive in the east. He has to help out his ally Mussolini, who wants to fight his own separate war. Il Duce has just been routed by the British in Africa. The Italian army is in disarray in the desert. To rescue Mussolini from disaster, Hitler dispatches one of his best generals over to Libya, General Rommel, along with his armoured division, the Afrika Korps. In Germany, Rommel is a big hero. He is the man who took Cambrai, Arras, Rouen and Cherbourg in May and June of 1940. And he is a true Nazi, a devotee who has served Hitler with great zeal and efficiency from the very beginning. Rommel believes in tanks and in the lightning war. He quickly orders the Afrika Korps to set off for the British positions. Rommel is already making a name for himself. The British circulate his picture with the description, "This man is dangerous." Hitler attacks Greece, a country that Mussolini has already tried to take. After his blitzkrieg in the Balkans and his occupation of Yugoslavia, he drops his paratroopers over Crete. Hitler has secured his southern flank for the invasion of Russia, but he has lost precious time. Operation Barbarossa has been delayed by several weeks. A grand military parade is traditionally held in Moscow's Red Square to celebrate International Workers' Day. Special preparations have gone into this one, however. Stalin wants to make a big impression on the Germans. He's been receiving information from his spies, warning of the imminence of an attack. But he finds it hard to believe that Hitler would dare to break the German-Soviet non-aggression pact so soon. The Germans are attending the parade.